everyone, this is Nikki Burnett, and I just wanted to take some time to flip through my new Grayscale coloring book, the Beginner's Edition, and show you some features that are inside the book. This is the front cover of the book, and I decided to put my witch Priscilla on the front, and I kept the color scheme the same as the original painting that the Grayscale image was based off of. So she's in shades of green and brown and red. And as you can see, the front cover is very thick and glossy. This is the back cover of the book. Here I show all 20 images that are inside the book so that you know exactly what you're getting. And then I placed some features down there at the bottom. So we'll just start flipping through the book. Here's the title page. This is Priscilla. And some of the images actually left uncolored, so you could color this page if you would like. This is the copyright page that tells a little bit about myself and my websites and the coloring books that I have out right now. And this is the start of the introduction text. When I set out to make a Grayscale coloring book, I thought it was really important to put some information inside the book about how to use the book and about Grayscale coloring in general. As I was creating the book, I had a lot of questions from people about Grayscale coloring. What is it? Why do you do it? What media do you use? So I tried to answer all those questions inside the book so you would have something easy to reference as you're coloring. On this first page, I talk about what Grayscale coloring is, and I show a side-by-side image of a traditional coloring page with a Grayscale coloring page so that you can see the differences. I talk about why you color over Grayscale and why the images in the Beginner's Edition are on the darker side. And I also wanted to show, I spent a lot of time designing the book. I really wanted it to be a pretty book and something that you would enjoy flipping through. I created the design for the back of the paper, the stationery as you will. It almost looks like a watercolor, sort of a mottled texture, and it extends all the way to the very edges of the page. So hopefully you will enjoy looking through the book. This is the second page of the introduction text. I talk about what materials you can use, what techniques you use, and down at the bottom I start talking about basic colored pencil techniques. I recommend colored pencils or markers for the majority of your coloring, and then you can accent with gel pens or chalk pastels, make really pretty backgrounds. So I've broken it down into beginner and advanced techniques for colored pencils, and I hope that's not confusing. I know this is the beginner's edition of the book, but I really feel that you can also use advanced techniques inside the book by using more colors and doing a little bit of the shading yourself. And here I talk about basic marker techniques, beginner and advanced. I talk about color selection. And then in the last page of the introduction text, I talk about how you blend colored pencils on top of Grayscale, a little bit of information about the paper, and just a short little paragraph about general information about the book. So here starts my favorite feature of the book, and I really hope that you all enjoy it too. These are the tester sheets. And as I was developing the book, I did a lot of test colorings, and I found that I wanted to experiment with color schemes or my media, and I found myself wasting a lot of paper trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to color my finished piece. So I thought that it would be a good idea to include some miniature tester images inside the book for you to practice on. So for each image inside the book, you will also receive 2 of these small tester images, and I'd say they're about the size, maybe a little smaller than a trading card size, about 2.5 by 3 inches, somewhere around there. And it's the exact image that's inside the book, just smaller. So use these to test your media, your color schemes, or anything else that you would like. And then on the left-hand side, I've included a colored version of the image, and these are the colors that I chose for the original painting. So you could copy my color scheme that if you wanted to, or create your own. It's totally up to you. And the best part about these tester sheets is that they are single-sided. So if you come up with a color scheme that you like, you can just cut it right out of the book and keep it by you when you're coloring to use as a guide. So I hope you all will enjoy that little feature that I added in the book. So we'll just flip through the rest of the tester sheets here. There are 7 tester sheets, or tester pages in the book rather. There are 3 images on each page, and they're all formatted in rows, and they're all still on that really pretty background that I designed. You're getting a little preview of the images that are included inside the book. And this is the last tester page right here. Okay, and here is the first coloring page of the book. This is Priscilla again. And I wanted to show you another feature that I added to the book, and these are the black borders. They extend right to the very edge of the page. And this is another thing that I decided to add as I was doing testing on the book. I found it very hard to keep a clean edge, and normally I would use painter's tape or something to create a clean edge when I'm working in a watercolor on a watercolor painting, but that's kind of complicated to use when you're doing a coloring inside of a coloring book. So I decided to create this black border, and you can color right over the top of it and you won't even see your coloring. So it creates a nice clean edge, and when you're done with the coloring, it almost creates like a matted print sort of feel to the coloring, so it'd be very nice for display purposes as well, I believe. And I also wanted to talk about the paper. I don't know if I can see that. Let's see if I can get a better shot of that. The paper is a 60-pound medium weight smooth paper. And it actually has a slight, I call it a satin finish. It's not glossy and it's not matte. It's somewhere in between. And it's due to the printing process. And I quite enjoy it. I find it to be a nice side effect of the printing process. It creates a very smooth piece of paper. It's very nice for markers, and it's also nice for colored pencils. I don't find it to be too glossy or too smooth to where colored pencils don't adhere well to it. So I quite enjoy it, and I hope you all will like it too. And again, from here on out, the pages are all single-sided. This is my Dragonfly Fairy, Brinley. Fallon with her wolf companion. This is Coraline. She's a Halloween witch sitting on a pumpkin. This is Brianna, a vampire fairy. This is Jaina, and she's a mermaid surrounded by koi fish. This is Chelsea. She's a witch inside of a haunted house cuckoo clock. This is Lisha. She's a vampire fairy on top of Gothic architecture. This is Zoe. She is a Halloween witch. She's sitting inside a pumpkin with her owl and kitty friends and some jack-o'-lanterns around her. And I wanted to take a minute to talk about the darkness of the grayscale images. I did do a lot of testing, and I found that this was a great level of grayscale. It's nice and dark, and when you color over it, you have to do very little shading, or none at all if you don't like to do shading. And the image still pops and comes to life. It's very fun to color over. This is Telsa. She's a steampunk girl with her top hat and goggles. This is Ivania. She's a harvest witch. You can see she has all her vegetables in her basket. This is Vienna. She is a Valentine's Day mermaid, or just a mermaid with hearts if you don't like Valentine's Day. This is Heather. She's a witch sitting on an ornate throne with her fairy kitty friends around her. This is Edeline, and she's an Arctic mermaid with her heart seal friends. Alita and Jax. She is a witch, and she's holding her friend Jax, a winged cat, and this one has a very intricate background. This is Constance. She's another steampunk girl with a little Victorian top hat. Marissa, she's a witch brewing something in her cauldron in the forest with pumpkins and kitties. Cassandra, she's a vampire. Cassia, she's a witch walking through an archway into the clouds outside. And Rain, she is a very intricate mask, and she's holding a raven. And that's the end of the beginner's edition of my first Grayscale coloring book. If you find that the images are too dark and you would like to have some more color variety options while you're coloring, I do offer an advanced edition of the book that has lighter Grayscale images, and I will talk about that book in a separate video. I'll put the link below. And I also have a whole section of my website dedicated to Grayscale coloring. You can access it by going to www.grayscalecoloring.com, and that is gray with an E. I'll put that link below as well. And I have developed a lot of supplemental material specifically for this book, like full-length tutorials and product reviews for coloring over Grayscale. And I even have a coloring gallery where I would love for you to share your finished colorings with us. And just go there and you'll be able to see information on how to submit your colorings. So I'd love for you to share your colorings with us so that we can all see your beautiful work. I really hope you enjoyed the look through of this book, and really hope you all enjoy coloring it. Thank you.